New jail footage just came out, and many people believe it shows Big U and Charleston White arguing or fighting in prison. In case you didn't know, Big U recently turned himself in.
But I'm going to go turn myself in, though, because I ain't did nothing.
Right after that, Charleston White came out swinging with one of his wildest accusations yet.
I've been saying a long time ago Big U in the 60s had killed Nip.
You think that for real?
I know for a fact they did. I went to the funeral with the Rolling 60s.
Now that reports say Charleston White has also been arrested, people are starting to believe he and Big U might be locked up in the same jail, and some even think they might have gotten into a fight. But there's a lot more going on with Big U right now, so let's break it down. Big U, whose real name is Eugene Henley, was arrested in March 2025 as part of a major federal RICO case called Operation Drawdown. This wasn't just a random arrest. It was part of a huge investigation into what the government says is a powerful criminal organization, with Big U allegedly playing a major role. For those who don't know, Big U is a well-known figure in South Los Angeles. He grew up there and became a leader in the Rollin 60s Crips, one of the most established gangs in the city. But over time, he expanded his role. He became involved in community work, helped with conflict resolution, and even stepped into the music industry. He worked as a manager and mentor to several artists, most famously Nipsey Hussle before his tragic death in 2019. After serving a long prison sentence in the early 2000s, Big U came out claiming he had changed his ways. He started a program called Developing Options, aimed at helping at-risk youth stay away from gangs. His story of going from a gang leader to a community figure earned him respect both on the streets and in the business world. Because of that image, his 2025 arrest shocked a lot of people. According to the Los Angeles Times, the charges are very serious. He's being accused of murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud. The government is saying Big U was actually running a criminal empire, kind of like a modern-day mafia, with deep ties in both the streets and the entertainment industry. The case file is over 200 pages long and claims that Big U never truly left the streets. Prosecutors say he used his legit businesses and community programs to hide illegal money and used his influence to pressure artists, club owners, and others in the music world. If these claims are true, they completely flip the public image he's built over the last decade. Big U kept a tight circle of loyal people who, according to prosecutors, did the dirty work for him, including violent acts. This allowed Big U to keep his hands clean while still running things behind the scenes. The indictment lists several situations where people who didn't go along with his extortion demands ended up suffering real consequences, from being attacked to having their property damaged. In at least 3 of those cases, things allegedly got so serious that people lost their lives. Even though Big U isn't directly charged with those killings, prosecutors say the violence was tied to people working under him. When Big U showed up in court for the first time, it was clear how serious this case is. He came in wearing handcuffs, with his legs shackled, a powerful image for someone who had worked hard to present himself as a reformed gang leader, a community activist, and a respected figure in the music world. The courtroom was packed. His family, friends, and even a few well-known names from the hip-hop scene were there, showing that he still has major influence, even with all these heavy charges hanging over him. What really stands out in this case is the alleged connection between Big U's criminal operation and the music industry. Prosecutors say he and his crew used threats and pressure to make money off musicians and others in the entertainment world. The goal? Control through fear, and it allegedly worked for years. The indictment even talks about some big-name artists, though it doesn't reveal their names. These artists were supposedly forced to pay for protection or risk getting hurt, or worse. The charges are being brought under the RICO Act, a law originally made to take down the mafia. RICO lets prosecutors connect different crimes together if they were all part of the same criminal organization. That means even if Big U didn't personally commit a crime, he could still be held responsible if someone under him did it as part of the group's plan. Federal officials are treating this case as a big deal. U.S. Attorney Miranda Hernandez called it one of the most sophisticated criminal enterprises we've seen in Los Angeles in years. She explained that the mix of street crime and ties to the entertainment industry made it hard to spot and even harder to take down. Right before he turned himself in, Big U posted what he called possibly his last video. That video blew up on social media, with everyone talking about what he said and what might happen next.
It's gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with.
In the video, Big U looks stressed, but still calm. He recorded the message just before turning himself in, clearly knowing how important public image is in a case like this. Throughout the video, he tries to make it seem like he's being targeted unfairly, like this is more about people coming after him than actual justice. And that message really hit home with a lot of his supporters. He denies doing anything wrong, but he doesn't talk about any of the specific charges or details. It was more of a general message saying he's innocent.
But I'm going to go turn myself in, though. Because I ain't did nothing. The fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my windows. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him.
This part of the video really connected with viewers because it showed Big U as a real person and highlighted how his family is being affected. When he mentioned that police approached his son during football practice, it caused a lot of outrage. Many of his supporters felt that was going too far and seen as intimidation. However, law enforcement later told the Los Angeles Times that it's normal to contact family members when trying to find someone on the run, and they denied doing anything threatening. Big U also described himself as a community leader being unfairly targeted, and he compared his situation to past cases where black community organizers were treated unfairly by law enforcement.
But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black, trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy.
Some people believe Big U's arrest is more about racial targeting than an actual criminal case. This idea has gained a lot of support in certain communities. A few civil rights groups have spoken out, not to defend Big U directly, but to make sure he gets fair treatment and due process under the law. The investigation that led to his arrest reportedly started over 3 years ago. It followed a series of violent events in South Los Angeles that police believed were tied to turf wars and business disputes. Court documents show that authorities used many tactics to build their case, including wiretaps, surveillance, tracking financial records, and working with several informants who once worked with Big U. But this operation wasn't just about the day he was arrested. Law enforcement also carried out more than 30 raids across LA County and arrested 22 other people connected to his crew. Among them were people involved in the local music scene, producers, club owners, and even a regional rapper. Police also seized around $1, $2 million in cash, 43 guns, and a large amount of drugs. At a press conference, FBI Special Agent Marcus Williams said, "This group has been a dark cloud over Los Angeles for too long, using fear and violence to control businesses while pretending to help the community. Today's arrests are a big step toward making the city safer." Big U's lawyer, Michael Ramirez, a well-known defense attorney, pushed back hard. In a statement, he called the charges an example of prosecutors going too far. He said the case is based on weak evidence and unreliable informants, and added that Big U has done real good for his community. "Confident will prove his innocence in court," he said. The case has sparked a lot of debate, especially in the hip-hop world. Some people think Big U is being unfairly targeted. It's because he made it out of the streets. Others, like Charleston White, believe this arrest was long overdue and that Big U kept doing dirt while acting like he'd changed. Charleston even has a theory about why the arrest happened now. In a recent video, he claimed it might be connected to Los Angeles getting ready to host the 2028 Olympics, suggesting the city wants to clean up its image.
Yeah, hey, listen, let me just say this about Big U now. This was more of a political move that had something to do with the Olympics. So the Olympics is coming to LA in like a year or two. So you got to think about when the Olympics came to Atlanta in 95, 96, the city and the county get a bunch of federal funding to go clean up the city, to prepare for the Olympics to come. Mm-hmm. So remember, Atlanta had the Red Dogs. The Red Dog had the resources, the power, the authorization to go out and do whatever to clean up all the crack sellers, the drug dealers out of Atlanta before the Olympics came.
Charleston White expanded on this theory, drawing parallels to previous Olympic host cities.
This is kind of similar. There's no way that the politicians and these world leaders could let the Olympics come to LA and Big U and the Rolling 60s got a stronghold on the entertainment industry to nigga kidnap, to strong arm, to intimidate, to extort. So there's no way they was gonna let these people come to LA and they still have this free reign to do celebrities like this, homie. So no, they just cleaning up before the Olympics come.
Charleston White has also speculated about how Big U might respond to the charges he's facing. In one particularly direct statement, White suggested that cooperation with authorities might be in Big U's future.
Out of the case with Brick Baby, Loose Cat, and all them, who you think will be the first to tell?
All of them. Big U gonna be the first to tell.
White continued with an emotionally charged description of how he imagines Big U reacted to the arrest.
Gray beard, Big U had in that picture going, nigga, man, that's Paw Paw. That nigga ain't that when he when he with his family and the news hit that he wanted. Nigga, he with his woman, he with his children, he with them grandkids. And them grandkids saying, Paw Paw, where you going? And Paw Paw got to go turn himself in. Man, crying on the inside. Just as soon as he can get by himself, man, Paw Paw don't want to leave them grandbaby.
In his commentary, Charleston White has positioned himself as someone challenging the traditional codes of silence in criminal organizations.
Remind everybody, hey, there's no loyalty in this group of criminals, my. Nobody have ever been able to uphold these codes. The mafia ain't, the Chinese mafia, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, everybody when they get caught by the oppressor, breaking fold.
The tension between Charleston White and Big U is more than just a personal beef. It touches on deeper issues like loyalty, redemption, and accountability in street culture. For Big U, the stakes couldn't be higher. If he's found guilty of the serious federal RICO charges against him, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Charleston White has added fuel to the fire by accusing Big U of being involved in Nipsey Hussle's death. These claims haven't been confirmed by any official sources, but they've added to the public's intense interest in the case. Big U, on his part, has denied all the charges, both the federal ones and anything linking him to Nipsey's murder. In his video before turning himself in, he painted himself as a community leader who's being wrongly targeted. As the case moves forward, people are hoping for answers. But for now, truth about whether Big U had anything to do with Nipsey Hussle's tragic death remains unclear, even after years of rumors, investigations, and public debate. What we do know is that Big U and Nipsey Hussle had a complicated relationship. It involved mentorship, business, community work, and at times, tension. That's why the hip-hop world and wider community are paying close attention to how Big U's case plays out. It could finally bring clarity to questions that have been around since Nipsey's passing in 2019. Big U and Nipsey Hussle. Looking at their relationship with all the attention on Big U, people are also looking back at his connection with Nipsey Hussle, the Grammy-winning rapper who was tragically killed in 2019. There's been a lot of speculation online, but it's important to focus on the facts we do know. Nipsey Hussle, whose real name was Ermias Asghedom, was murdered on March 31, 2019, right outside his Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles. The man convicted of the killing, Eric Holder, also known as Shitty Cuz in the neighborhood, was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. According to court testimony, the motive behind the murder stemmed from a personal dispute between Holder and Hussle, with Holder reportedly feeling disrespected after Hussle mentioned rumors about him being an informant. This official narrative has been accepted by the courts, but in the years since Nipe's death, various alternative theories have circulated online, including unfounded speculation about Big U's potential involvement. It's critical to note that no credible evidence has emerged linking Big U to Nipe's murder, and he has not been charged with any crime related to Hussle's death. Big U and Nipe Hussle had a long history together that spanned nearly 15 years. Their relationship began in the mid-2000s, when Nipe was an up-and-coming artist. Big U reportedly played a significant role in Nip's early career, helping to launch him in the music industry by providing connections, guidance, and protection. Both were associated with the role in 60s neighborhood Crips, and their relationship was publicly acknowledged as mentorship, with Nipe often crediting Big U for guidance in early interviews. Throughout Nip's rise to prominence, Big U remained a consistent presence in his professional life. He was frequently mentioned in Nipe's acknowledgments and thank you sections on album credits, and the two were often photographed together at industry events and community functions. When Nipe launched his groundbreaking Crenshaw mixtape in 2013 with a $100 physical copy business model, Big U was reportedly supportive of the innovative approach that gained national attention when Jay-Z purchased 100 copies. As Nip's career advanced and he gained mainstream recognition, particularly with his Grammy-nominated album Victory Lap in 2018, his relationship with Big U appeared to remain positive on the surface. However, some industry insiders have suggested that the dynamic shifted as Nip's star power and business acumen grew, potentially creating tension in a relationship that had previously been more clearly defined by mentorship. In a 2021 Drink Champs interview, conducted 2 years after Nipe's death, Big U directly addressed rumors about his relationship with Nipe and emphatically denied any conflict.
We ain't got no beef.
Right.
Period. We never stopped talking. We didn't go 2 days with nothing.
No.
We didn't have nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
All the way up until he signed a deal with Atlantic Records.
Big U claimed that after Nipe signed with Atlantic Records for his major label debut, their relationship remained positive, with Nipe actively including him in his professional endeavors.
He called me
and
said, let's go.
Celebrate.
Where the fuck is the beef at?
Right.
He fly me to New York.
Right.
I'm in the fucking video.
As evidence of their continued good relationship, Big U pointed to his appearance in Nip's music video, which demonstrated their ongoing professional collaboration.
I am the nigga who promoted Victory Lap on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All these weirdos who told me who became Nipsey fans, they weren't promoting this shit. I'm the one promoting that. I went and did 5 days in the studio recording for the mixtape that was gonna come out after that.
Let's go.
You don't hear me though.
These statements suggest that Big U and Nipsey Hussle had an ongoing relationship filled with support and collaboration. However, it's important to remember that this is Big U's point of view shared after Nipsey's death, meaning Nipsey could no longer confirm or deny how their relationship is being described. Some people in the community have pointed out that there may have been business tensions between the two. As Nipsey grew his business empire, including the Marathon clothing store, real estate, and tech investments, his goals may have started to clash with older street power structures. His Buy Back the Block approach focused on building black ownership in South Central Los Angeles, which was a very different kind of community leadership than what traditional street organizations represented. One known incident that supports the idea of some conflict happened in 2018. According to police reports, there was a confrontation between Nipsey's brother, Samuel Black Sam Asghedom, and individuals allegedly connected to Big U. The key disagreement was over business issues related to the operations of the Marathon clothing store. While different people have described the situation in different ways, the dispute itself is confirmed in official records. Still, it's important to note that this disagreement has no proven link to Nipsey's murder the following year. After Nipsey's death, Big U was seen at memorial events and spoke highly of him in several interviews. He took part in community healing events and often talked about how much Nipsey meant to the neighborhood. He said that he's continuing parts of Nipsey's legacy through his own community work. When asked about Eric Holder, the man convicted of killing Nipsey, Big U has always denied having any connection.
They clearly had a conversation. They clearly was beefing. They clearly grew up together. And it's a nigga I never seen before. I never met him.
Big U elaborated on this point, explaining that the size of the organization made it impossible for him to know all younger members.
Really?
Nah, I ain't never met City. You gotta remember, we at any given time, we may have 1,500 homies throughout this on the streets. Maybe be 5,000 or 6,000. But if you got 15, I don't know all these young niggas. I'm 54. I don't know with niggas that's 25, 26, 27.
David Gross, a business partner of Nipsey Hussle, worked closely with him on the Vector 90 co-working space and other real estate projects. In interviews, Gross has highlighted how smart Nipsey was in balancing his ties to the community with his business goals. Explained that Nipsey knew how to move carefully through the challenges of his neighborhood while building legitimate, long-term success. Lauren London, Nipsey's partner at the time of his death, has mostly stayed silent when it comes to theories about what happened. She has always supported the official story confirmed in court. Her focus has been on honoring Nipsey's legacy, remembering him as a father, entrepreneur, and community leader, rather than getting involved in online speculation. Recently, Big U's arrest has reignited rumors about his possible connection to Nipsey's murder. But it's important to separate fact from theory. There are no official charges linking Big U to Nipsey's death, and prosecutors have never said that the two cases are connected in any way. When it comes to understanding Big U and Nipsey's relationship, there are a few different ways to look at it. One view sees them as two very different types of community leaders, Big U coming from traditional street influence, and Nipsey representing a new kind of leadership through business and ownership. Sometimes they work together, and other times their paths may have clashed. Another view looks at it through the lens of mentorship in hip-hop. In many cases, older figures help younger artists early on, but tensions can grow when the younger star starts gaining independence and success. That shift from student to equal can cause strain. A third way to see their relationship is through their different approaches to helping the community. Nipsey focused on economic empowerment through investing in ownership, while Big U ran programs and community initiatives. Both said they were trying to help, but they had different strategies, which may have led to both cooperation and conflict over the years. In the end, their relationship wasn't simple. It likely had highs and lows, just like any long-term partnership, especially in a complex environment like South Central LA. As time went on and their roles changed, so did their connection. That's it for today's deep dive. If you found this breakdown helpful, check out more of our content. Just click one of the cards on your screen now and keep watching.